All right, welcome back. Sunday morning, big bad water pump day. So we're gonna get into this water pump. I know I've been mentioning it on a few videos here and there, back and forth. So I'm one of them guys that I ride the part out until it just, that's it, there's nothing else left. So I just kept riding it out and put water in it every morning, you know, before work, and it worked for a month or so now, but it's finally got to where the truck overheated on me. So in today's video, we're getting into changing the water pump on the 3rd gen 03 Ram 1500 5.7 liter Hemi. So it's gonna be a long video. The purpose of the video being long is that you can scan through the different parts if you need to do it yourself to help you along. So it's gonna be probably an hour-long video. We'll see what we can do about the time. So I'm gonna strap this POV camera on, and then we're gonna get started. We'll see how it goes. All right, y'all, we tried to get set up with the POV cam. Man, what a joke, dude. It flips my camera over. I ain't gonna worry about it. So we already took our reservoir tank off. It's 2 hoses, this hose, 1, 2, 3 10mm bolts. It'll slide right off. It's not a big deal. So we're gonna get into taking off. I gotta get the compressor out of the way, alternator out of the way. Gotta get this little bracket. So we're gonna get into some fun now. So first things first, my son brought this to my attention, which I agree with him. So I need to disconnect the battery because I'm gonna have my alternator wires off, my power feed, and you don't want that grounding out on anything. So we're gonna take some advice. So we're gonna grab our 10, which doesn't fit, go figure. I forgot it's a 12. So we got our 12 here, right? We're gonna completely disconnect. So what I mean by that is we're gonna take the power wire off, power feed off here. Got that thing on there snug. You have to just get your flat blade screwdriver. For myself, for these Ram trucks, they got to be really tight. Got to have a real good connection. See that? That lead will move. You just barely separate it. Look at that. Set that to the side. Same here, 10mm. You're already here. You might as well go with it. Take that one off too. Same thing. You know that one's really tight. Same thing, get your screwdriver. Just wiggle it a little bit, it'll open up. At that point, you know you have no power to the system. So now you're free and clear to mess with anything on the truck and not have to worry about shorting out anything. That's the most important part. So now we're gonna get over here and start disconnecting some things. We're going to start with this AC compressor. So you're going to want to have a little tool set. Some of these bolts are, like this one's a 1/2 inch, some of them are not, some of them are 10mm, 12mm. So you got to kind of wing it, what you got. Everything's super oxidized under here. That's what happens when you take your engine underwater, salt water. So this bracket I'm taking off, it literally just mounts the alternator compressor to this bracket here. I'm gonna be 100% honest, I don't know why they did it. Let me grab me an extension real quick. Need a shorter one than that. Got that little tool chest under the seat. I showed you all that. I always keep my bolts together so I know where they go back. See that? I don't understand, but they got it. So we got our 15, it's a 15 millimeter, 15 millimeter, 15 millimeter, 15 millimeter, all the way around right here. Got one over here, 15 millimeter. We'll start getting all these away. Now I'm gonna show you something. The first time I did this, my son and myself did this. I'm gonna show you. That right there is attached to your AC compressor, and I pried up on it, and thank God it just let my freon out but didn't mess my compressor up. So always remember to take this out before you start prying on your AC compressor. So that's just a little quick, I learned the hard way tip. So at that point we're gonna get the compressor up out of the way, alternator up out of the way. I didn't get the little tool to take the fan on, but seeing as I'm a pipe fitter, I have an idea. Show y'all how we get around that. Just like so. See that? So say you have a stud here, right? Say you put your socket on your ratchet. At that point it won't grab. So here's a tip, another little tip. Put your socket on there. Just push your ratchet and see how it goes in there just a little bit, right? Then you just hold it like so, and you can break it loose. You don't have to worry about searching for a deep socket if you don't have one. Man, this channel is about making do with what you have, the tools you have. That's what we're about around here. There's one 15mm bolt. Like I said, keep them together. Take this one, back it out. They're long-winded bolts. Look how long that joker is. So this bolt on the top here is a 12. It's not the 15. So you have to swap that up. Let's get this 12. Look, I already got my extension on there. 12mm. Fits down on there. Looks like I need a longer extension. So let me grab that longer extension real quick. If you can't see that piece right there wiggling where I already broke it, but I don't mess with it anymore. This is my 3rd time doing the water pump on this truck. And I've put 200 and something thousand miles on it since I bought the truck. All right. So this thing's in there pretty snug, right? You want to get you something, anything you can gently pry with, right? Gently. Don't get crazy. It's a high pressure system. And just remember, this is an aluminum chunk here. It's something you can pry on a little bit. For me, I got a, I think this is a tie rod end remover or a ball joint remover. Works great for other applications. Ow, pinch my finger. So you can see we're up. One side. Kind of wiggling on the, gotta kind of work it out of there. It's in there. Work it up like so. There you go, it's free. You now want to take your AC lines off, you don't want to mess with that. So the best you can do is just kind of slide it out of the way there, just a little bit. It don't move much, but it moves enough you can get in here to this, right? And that's the purpose of it. I'm gonna jump back with this 15. I'm gonna get into taking this alternator off. Take your cap loose, right? One plug, pinch on the top, pinch. Wow, you gotta work it off of there too. Like so, that plug's out of the way. That there should be your either a 12, nope, or a 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch right here, bam. Take your nut off, grab your lock washer. You don't want to lose your lock washer. Right, so work it off of there. Me personally, I just put it right back on there. Don't worry about losing it. There you go. One less thing to worry about. $15 for the alternator. Got 2 bolts, one here, one here. And the good thing with these bolts, you don't have to get all super crazy with them. Tighten them down, you just want them nice and snug. There you go, another bolt. This one here, take this one off. Bolts out. So for myself, I'm gonna put my bolts back where they go. It helps me to remember where they came out at. And that's a good thing for a guy like myself. So once you get it out, just slide them back in there, man. Thread them in a little bit. I promise you one thing, you won't forget where they came from if they're right where they came out of. So same scenario. Get your little pry bar here, right? Just pry up. Same thing, man. It's a tight fit, super tight fit, which is a good thing, but it is a tight fit. Put it right here. If you can get it in there, let's do it like that normally. Once it comes off this one side, like so, right? Just push your AC line out of the way there. Push this thing out of the way. Right? Kind of hang over there. Remember, you disconnected your battery completely, it's dead. At that point, just lift that thing up. Work it out of there. So the alternator is completely disconnected. You just take it all the way out. Same thing. Take your bolts, put them back where you got them from. Here. Just screw them in. This one here. Right there. Now you know you won't lose them. Set this over here. We're going to take this tensioner off. That's a 12. Get your 12 millimeter. Ooh, sorry, half inch. Half inch. All right. You're just going to pull that out, get it out. It just gets it out of the way for you. You ain't got to sit there and worry about it being in the way or anything crazy like that. Same with your tensioner. I think that might be a 15. 15. Same thing. It's just to get it out of the way. You'll understand why here in a minute when I show you how I'm going to get that fan off. When I show you how I'm going to get that fan off. My little extension there. So now that we got all that out of the way, now I'm gonna let y'all in on my little secret on how I'm gonna try to get that fan off. So like I said, I am a pipe fitter, and I do have tools, really big tools actually. So this is my plan, right? See that there? Boy, tell me it ain't a beautiful thing to be a sprinkler man. Oops. Now I do not advise doing that, putting on your fan onto your water pump. I do not advise that at all. And I'm going to show you why. See that mark right there? Comes from the jaws of a pipe wrench. But taking it off, the new water pump comes with a pulley, so you don't have to worry about it. That thing is on there. Voila. The fan is in my hand, baby. So we're going to set this in the back, or at least out of the way. See? So I'm gonna take myself a little break real quick, get something to drink. All right, so we're coming back. Got me something to drink. It's hot as heck out here, man. So I'm gonna show you one more time, because in the previous showing you couldn't see it. So you see this mark right here? That is why you don't use a pipe wrench. It leaves a burr that'll tear your belt up. So that's just a little quick something to show you why you don't do it the way I did it, putting your fan on. Now, if you're taking it off and you can get it in there, handle business. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna get this shroud off, get it out of the way. We gotta get a few hoses out of the way. So let's jump into that. So that's also a 12. No, it's not. That's also a 13. It's a 13, I guess. Right here, 13 millimeter. You have 1, 2. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a slide. That's not a bolt. So you got 1, and then you got 1 here, and then the shroud slides up out of there. So let me give you a little something to look at here. We're gonna use this long extension. No, we're not. Not on this one. On this one we will. Easy as that. That's one. The other one's over here. Just get you a little short extension. Spin that out of there, right? You take your reservoir tank out, like that. With all that being loose, that's right. Pliers. You open radiator hose off. Just pull your clamp back. Same as anything else. Twist the hose. I've already drained the water out. We ain't got to worry about a mess. Plus it's so hot out here, it would dry up like that anyway. Kind of push that over, get it out of the way. This here slides out. When you slide it out, be careful. You don't want to grind your fins up on your radiator. Pull it straight up. Once that comes out of there, I mean, look at that. I mean, you can climb in there and take a nap if you want it. Let me set this in the back. All right, now we got all the room in the world. I didn't want to disconnect my hose. I don't want to drain all my fluid out of here, so we're just gonna leave this thing hanging out. Don't really seem like it's hurting anything, right? So with this here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like, I think it's 10 bolts, something like that. They look like 12s, or maybe even a 13. Let's see. Oh, that's pretty nice. It's also a 13 millimeter. We got to pull our upper radiator hose all the way off, get our thermostat out of there. We might get a little bit of water this time. You never know. But I know we're about to find out. There's that water. I knew some would come. Never fails. So that's a 2-bolt system. Thermostat housing, 2 bolts, 13 millimeter. Can't really see that bottom one. You can see where my ratchet's at. That's probably as good as it's gonna get. So we gotta figure out something to get it in here. Oh, what fun. All right. Y'all just bear with me. I'm remembering as we go. It's been 2 years or more since I've had to replace this thing. So just bear with me. Let me get all this stuff together. We'll get it all apart. Y'all can see what kind of fun y'all are gonna have if y'all gotta do this. This clamp is always the worst, man. Once you get it spun around there, it's not so bad, but getting it there, sometimes you can have fun with that. Not the kind of fun like, ha ha ha, kind of fun. So let's see if we can't break this thing loose. There we go. It's a process, y'all. These things are pretty long-winded also. There's one. Pull this thing back out of the way. Get that top bolt up. Get that thing off of there. Look at that thing. Bam. Thermostat housing. Got it. So we're going to pull this thermostat. Get this screwdriver. Seems like a lot of things take a screwdriver on this truck. Well, thing's in there, ain't it? Alright, we'll worry about getting that out once we get the water pump on. How about that? Save the efforts. So here we go. We're going to start ripping bolts off this water pump and get this thing taken out of here and out of the way, man. 1/2 inch. I guess we'll start with this 15 right here, 15. All right. Oh, that's bad. Oh, man. So I gotta check something real quick. Now you see that? You see how that's not milky? Right there? So, I'm gonna show y'all this. And I'm gonna tell you what this is. You see that? That looks like a blown head gasket. That's Bar's leak. That stuff is gross. I used it in there to get it by, and now I'm regretting it. Now I'm regretting it. So I'm looking for all my 15s before I switch sockets. We're gonna switch sockets. What did I do with that 13, son? There it is. Got it. So here we go. Put the 13mm bolts. Put this extension on there, make it easier. another one. Alright, here's one. There's one. We got one here. We got that one there. And before I get too ahead of myself here, there's two more things here that I have to pull off. And that's these here. That's my heater hose lines. I gotta get underneath the truck for that. I guess we'll do this lower radiator hose first. Get the get the rest of the water out of it. Here, I'm gonna try to hold this camera. You see that big old clamp right there? I'm gonna try to do two things at once. Junior's over here knocking bolts off the top of the truck. Probably knocking one off we need. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, y'all. Bear with me. It's acting like it's impossible. So, y'all just hang tight for a second. Son, you're gonna have to come over here, bro.
Sir, come on.
You're laying in that water. Keep your head off the ground. Alright, now we're gonna get this thing off. Got my cameraman under here with me. He's gonna end up getting wet. He ain't gonna like that. Jeez.
Sheesh.
All right, here comes the fun. So we're gonna kind of try to get out of the way. Ah, big old holes, man. There it is. You just gotta wiggle it. It shouldn't have a lot of water in it. Hey, I guarantee you one thing, we're about to find out. Oh, big old thing, man. Here it comes. All right, son, get ready for it, big dog. It's gonna come a gushing. It shouldn't be too bad though. It should just be a little bit. Here, we'll let it drain out. Slide out, slide out. Give me the camera. You see that water coming out? I knew we didn't get it all. All right, we're gonna let that run. We're gonna call it a minute. We'll get back with y'all in a second. All right, y'all, so the camera's about to die. You see where we're at with the water pump. So this is where we're at. I'm pulling these hoses off. I got a few more bolts. Water pump will come off. I'm gonna put the camera on the charger and let it charge up. We'll get back with y'all whenever we go to put the new one on. So at this point, stay tuned. We'll be back. Charging camera at the moment. All right, we're getting it, y'all, man. So the camera won't charge fast enough, and I've already started installing the water pump on the 03. So we're just gonna make it a water pump removal video. My camera's dying. It's like 1,000 degrees out here. Sheesh. I'm telling you, it's hot, man. So we're gonna wrap this video up. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. If you enjoy the content, stick with me. I appreciate it. Keep living the dream, doing your thing. Auto Guy DIY, rolling out.